Hello again, Gooners. Yeah, slightly different tone to my hello this time. It's because it's been transfer deadline day, been and gone now, and what can we say about it? Not very much, unfortunately. Not very much. I should mention this is the loose cannon, and what number is this? 56, is it, or 57? I don't know. Do the maths. You should do the maths. I mean, the club are good at doing maths. Look at the figures. £35 million we spent on the likes of Lucas P, Olivier G, and Santi C. Three DJs coming in for £35 million. Going out, RVP and Alex S for a total of 39 million. Plus, we raised about £6 million apparently on the loans of Nicholas Bentner and Chu Young Park, or as some people like to call him, Chewbacca, and other people like to call him Park Chu Young. So take your pick, but he's still only one player, but brought in some money. Celta Vigo were snapping him up on loan, and obviously Nicholas Bentner getting that dream move, as far as he's concerned, to Juventus. And of course, there are other players out on loan that presumably we brought in money for. Denilson, perhaps not so much money. Still at Sao Paulo, I understand. Joel Campbell at Real Betis. Surely they paid decent money for his services. Rio Miyaichi at Wigan. I would imagine we got reasonable money for that as well. Certainly contribution to their wages. So where does that leave us going into the next game against Liverpool? Well, I'm predicting a draw for what, I mean, I've been getting all the results wrong so far, all the Arsenal results, and my predictions have been pretty poor. I don't think I'll run through them just yet. I'll leave that till later in case you want to switch off. But looking at our squad, and of course, let's not forget we need a squad of up to 25 players, maximum of 17 of which can be non-homegrown. So it makes you realise why perhaps we weren't quite as busy on the transfer market as some of us thought we might be. Michael Essien, apparently we did make an inquiry for him. We wanted him on loan. He's ended up at Real Madrid, so we've lost out there. It's so disappointing. And of course, I'm not overly overjoyed about the fact that Hugo Lloris signed for Spurs. At one point, I earmarked him as a possible Arsenal goalkeeper, but after his performance in the Euros, I'm not so sure, and they did spend a lot of money on him, so it's going to be interesting to see how well he does. But he's one of those players that I really, really like to look of when I first saw him play for France. But anyway, obviously Theo stayed. We should be pleased about that. Andre Arshavin stayed, but both of these players are going to be out of contract very shortly, as in next season. So they could be negotiating deals with other clubs abroad, though, as soon as January. So makes you wonder what the club are doing. I can't imagine us re-signing Andre Arshavin. I'd like to see it happen, but unless he has a purple patch, even without the purple shirts, I just don't see that happening. So looking at our squad anyway, I'll get around to the point eventually. As I said, we can have 25 players that are over 21 years of age in our squad, a maximum of 17 homegrown, and I've made it. We've got 16, maximum of 17 non-homegrown players, and we've got 16 at the moment. So had we signed Michael Essien, that would have brought us up to 17, and plus 7 players that are over 21 that are counted as homegrown. So that gives us a squad of 23. Obviously, unlimited numbers of under 21-year-olds allowed to be included in that squad. So looking down the squad, I'll give you the non-homegrown players. See if you can guess who they are, and see if you can guess when they're out of contract. Abu Diaby, non-homegrown. He's out of contract when? 2015. Bakary Senya, same goes for him, except he's out of contract a bit sooner, which is a little bit worrying. Well, unless he keeps on having these injuries, of course, then maybe we will be pleased that he's on a reasonably short-term contract. He's out of contract 2014. Per Mertesackers out of contract same time as Abu Diaby, 2015, also non-homegrown. He's non-homegrown number 3. Thomas Vermaelen number 4 in the non-homegrown charts. He's out of contract same time as Mertesacker, 2015. Laurent Koscielny, we've got him. We've got him in place for a bit longer, 2017. Thomas Rosicky out of contract 2014. Arteta is out of contract. Mikel Arteta 2015. He's the 7th of these non-homegrown players. Lucas Podolski, obviously a new arrival, 2016 for him. Also non-homegrown. That makes 8. Andre Santos makes 9. He's out of contract 2015. Olivier Giroud, we've got him tied down to a contract till 2017. That makes the 10th non-homegrown player. And Schillaci, not going to be a lot of use probably, but he's under contract till next summer. So I think he'll be leaving on a free. He's going to wind down his contract a little bit like Manuel Almunia. Perhaps he'll even get loaned out. Who knows? So he's obviously taken up a place in our non-homegrown list. Santi Cazorla, non-homegrown, that makes 12. He's out of contract 2016. So we don't have to worry about him for a while. Lucas Fabianski, he's out of contract next summer. Perhaps he'll do a Manuel Almunia and leave. Perhaps join a team a bit lower in the league than Watford, though. Anyway, he's number 13 on the non-homegrown list. Number 14 on this non-homegrown list, Andre Arshavin, as I mentioned earlier, out of contract next summer. Then who have we got after that? We've got Gervinho, he's non-homegrown. He's out of contract 2015, so don't have to worry about him for a bit. And who's the other one? Oh, Marouane Chamakh, out of contract next summer. Sorry, not next summer, the summer after, 2014. So, well, I was surprised he didn't get loaned out, actually, talking to Marouane Chamakh. I was really, really surprised. So yeah, other than Michael Essien, who did we make moves for? Apparently, no one, really. There was talk that we made a move for Marouane Fellaini. I would have loved that to have happened, but it was reported on an Everton website called NSNO, and, well, the answer to that was no, it didn't. It didn't actually transpire that we made a move for him, because clearly it would be too expensive. And this is why the Telegraph have run this long headline: Arsenal face up to criticism from supporters after club poised to end transfer window and profit on player trading. As I mentioned before, we're up to the tune of how much? Well, 4 million in permanent deals plus all the loan deals, so that makes 10 million minimum, perhaps more. So obviously the Arsenal Supporters Trust looking after our interests, not entirely happy with what's going on. A spokesman was quoted in the Telegraph as saying, "Our own analysis shows the club have not used all the resources available to them to strengthen the squad. Many of our members are extremely frustrated as they believe no stone should be left unturned in trying to make Arsenal a better team." Nevertheless, in the recent survey by the Arsenal Supporters Trust, 77% backed Arsene Wenger, as I do myself. I would like to see him get a bit more assistance when it comes to negotiating deals. We need somebody like David Dean at the club, I keep saying it. But anyway, Arsene Wenger quite wisely said the following: "Spending in itself is not a quality. Buying better than you have is a quality. Last year, on the same day, we were predicted to finish 10th to 15th. We finished 3rd. I must hasten to add at this point, I didn't predict that we would finish so low down the league table. But then again, I certainly didn't predict we'd finish 3rd. Prior to the season starting, last season I said we'd finish higher than Chelsea. I've said the same this season. They've got off to a good start. We haven't. Same as last time around. So do I want to change my mind about anything? Perhaps I do, because I expected us to buy at least, or bring in at least one player in on loan. It's not happened. I think we're a little bit short in the sort of midfield department, central midfield, having lost Alex Song, who's versatile. So we've lost a defender effectively as well, because he could play there. He wasn't my favourite player by any means, but he was a solid player. So we've lost a solid player, and we lost Robin van Persie. I'm convinced the goals will come, so you'll be unhappy or happy to hear that, because depending on how good or bad you think my predictions are. And anyway, so that's about it. Apart from predictions, I'm going to run through my predictions very swiftly. These are my predictions. As I said earlier, I think we'll draw against Liverpool at Anfield. I'll be pleased if we win, obviously, and I'll be very grateful, not expecting that to happen. Other games, West Ham Fulham, I've got that down as a home win. I was thinking about a draw, but I've gone for a home win there, even though it's a local derby. Swansea Sunderland, I've gone for a draw. Swansea surely can't keep up this run of form. Tottenham Norwich, sorry to say, got Spurs down as a home win. West Brom against Everton, that's got to be a draw. Both teams starting pretty well. Wigan against Stoke, another draw, I think. Going to be a tough one, that. Manchester City QPR, clearly home win for Man City. Newcastle Villa, home win for Newcastle. Villa starting off pretty badly, and they keep recruiting players I've never heard of. And Southampton Man U, well, you've got to go for the away win, even though Southampton certainly seem to have ambitions of staying in the top flight, judging by their activities on the transfer front. So away win for United there. Looking at the J.League, I had a terrible run of predictions last week. I've been pretty good, about 50% success rate till last week when I managed 0. A big fat 0, but this time I've got Consadole Sapporo, which sounds rather like a beer, against Shimizu S-Pulse, down as a draw. That's the first game of the weekend in Japan. Urawa Reds against Omiya Adija. That's the next game, scheduled for 6 o'clock Japan time. That's a home win, I reckon. Reds in 3rd place against Omiya, right down in the relegation zone, as are Consadole, of course. Consadole doing really badly, but I think they'll pick up a point, but not Omiya. FC Tokyo against Yokohama F Marinos. I've got that down as a draw. Too hard to call that one. That's the next game up. Then we've got Vegalta. All the rest of the games start at 7 Japan time. Vegalta Sendai against Kawasaki Frontale. Got that down as a home win for the 2nd place Vegalta Sendai side, who are doing really well. Kashima Antlers against Vissel Kobe. I've got down as a draw. Mid-table battle there. Alberix Niigata against Cerezo Osaka. Cerezo looking good the other day, but I think that's going to be a draw. Another couple of mid-table teams. Well, Cerezo only just out of the relegation zone, I have to add. Jubilo Iwata in 4th against Sanfrecce Hiroshima. Got that down as a home win. I think Sanfrecce will have to come off the rails at some point, and Jubilo pretty good at home. Nagoya Grampus in 8th position against Kashiwa Reysol, 3 places above them. Got that down as a draw. And Sagan Tosu against Gamba Osaka, 7th against 15th. Another draw. So lots of draws there. No away wins. The only away win I've got down is in the Premier League, Man U against Southampton. So do I hope those predictions come true? I don't really care, to be honest, but I'm just having fun making them anyway. Until the next time, up the Gooners.